1. The Waterfall. Envy Camder was 27 years old, a chartered accountant who left a career at Deloitte to become a travel creator. Over 300,000 people followed her adventures on Instagram, a page she called the Gloco Journal. She specialized in monsoon tourism, traveling to India's most dramatic landscapes during the rainy season, when everything looks more cinematic, more alive. On the morning of July 16, she and 7 friends visit Kambi Waterfall, 80 miles south of Mumbai. She was filming an Instagram reel. The rocks were soaked. One misstep and she was gone, falling 300 feet into the gorge below. 6 hours, that's how long it took rescuers to reach her through the rain and the terrain. She was found alive. She was airlifted out. She was put on a ventilator. She died that afternoon. Envy wasn't reckless. She was passionate. But in a world where the algorithm rewards the most dramatic angle, sometimes the most dramatic angle is also the most dangerous one. Case 2. The Sleeping Beauty Castle. Natalie Stichova was a 23-year-old professional gymnast from the Czech Republic, an elite athlete trained for balance, precision, and body control. In August 2024, she hiked Tegelberg Mountain in Bavaria with her boyfriend and 2 friends to see Neuschwanstein Castle, the real-life castle that inspired Disney's Sleeping Beauty. She positioned herself near the edge of the mountain to frame the castle behind her for a photo. Then she fell, 262 feet. We will never know, her friend told reporters, whether she slipped or whether a piece of the rock edge gave way. She was airlifted to hospital. She survived the initial fall. 6 days later, her family made the decision to remove her from life support. Irreversible brain damage. Her gymnastics club released a statement. Natalie spread smiles throughout her short life, and this is how we will remember her. A professional gymnast, trained her entire life for balance, killed by a 6-inch miscalculation at the edge of a cliff. Case 3. The highest bridge in Spain. Lewis Stevenson, 26, was a graphic designer from Derby, England. In his spare time, he was a rooftopper, someone who scales urban structures without equipment to film the world from impossible heights. On October 13, 2024, a Sunday, just after 7 a.m., Lewis and a 24-year-old friend arrived in Talavera de Reina with one purpose: to climb the Castilla-La Mancha Bridge, the tallest in Spain. It had rained the night before. The cables were wet. Climbing the bridges is illegal. Local authorities had issued warnings repeatedly. The structure had already attracted influences from around the world, drawn by its height, its drama, its visual potential. Lewis climbed approximately 50 meters without a harness. Then he fell. His friend watched from below. He was in shock for hours and couldn't speak. The city councilor for public security addressed reporters that day. They had come to Talavera to climb the bridge and create content for social media, which resulted in this unfortunate and sad outcome. We have reiterated on many occasions that it cannot be done under any circumstances. Lewis' girlfriend of 10 years, Savannah Parker, told the press she had always tried to talk him out of his climbs. That morning, she said, he hadn't even been feeling well before he went up. The official cause of death, recorded months later at Derby Coroner's Court: blunt force head injuries, uncontrolled descent from height. Case 4. The Prop. A man in Mexico wanted a selfie that projected power, strength, a certain image for his followers. He chose a loaded firearm as his prop, adjusting the angle, finger in the wrong position. The gun discharged. He died instantly. The photo was never taken. This type of death appears so frequently in selfie fatality records that researchers have given it its own category. The object isn't meant to hurt anyone, it's meant to look dangerous, but real objects have real consequences, regardless of intent. Case 5. Yellowstone. Yellowstone National Park posts its regulations in multiple languages. Rangers repeat them daily. The rule on bears is simple. Never approach, maintain at least 100 yards of distance. In 2025, a tourist spotted a grizzly bear and saw an opportunity. He moved closer and closer. Phone raised. The bear charged. The attack was fatal. The bear did nothing wrong. It reacted the only way a threatened animal knows how. The only variable that day was a human being who decided that one extraordinary photo was worth crossing every boundary, physical, legal, and biological, that existed between him and that animal. Case 6. The live stream. He was known in the rooftopper community. He had the clips. He had the followers. He had a reputation for knowing exactly what he was doing at the edge of a 60-story building. In 2025, he climbed one in Hong Kong, live. His audience watched it in real time. As he reached the summit, he stood at the edge, and then lost his footing, trying to reposition for a better shot. The camera kept recording. The video he intended as a career highlight becomes something else entirely. This is the paradox at the center of extreme content. Every successful upload creates pressure for the next one to be more height, more exposure, more risk. The ceiling keeps rising until there isn't one. Case 7. The Train. A young man in Tamil Nadu saw a parked locomotive and decided it was the backdrop he needed. He climbed it to the top. What he didn't account for or choose to ignore were the overhead power lines running just above the roof of the train. Thousands of volts, instantaneous contact, no time to react. Railway authorities across multiple countries issue warnings about this exact scenario every year. The signs are posted, the danger is documented, and yet every year someone climbs anyway. Case 8. The Volcano. The crater of an active volcano is one of the most hostile environments on Earth. Toxic gases, extreme heat, unstable ground. Every element conspires against human presence. In Indonesia in 2024, a tourist walked past every safety barrier to reach the crater's edge. He wanted the shot from above. The rim gave way beneath him. Volcanoes are indifferent. They don't register bravery or intent or follower count. They only register physics. The number 480. That is the number of documented deaths linked directly to taking a selfie from 2008 through the end of 2024, according to data compiled by The Telegraph and Euronews from academic research and verified records. For comparison, sharks kill an average of 5 to 6 people per year worldwide. You are statistically more likely to die taking a photo than to be killed by a shark. The average age of victims, 23 years old. 70% are male. In nearly every case, there was a warning sign nearby that someone chose to ignore. This isn't about stupidity. It never was. It's about what happens to the human brain when it enters performance mode. When the focus shifts to framing, to the caption, to the comments, to the likes. The prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for risk assessment, gets crowded out by dopamine loop of anticipated reward. The danger doesn't disappear. It just stops feeling real. These platforms, the ones that rank extreme content higher, that recommend the most dangerous videos, that build the architecture of this attention economy, they don't grieve when someone dies feeding the algorithm. They just keep running. So maybe the question isn't why these people took the risk. Maybe the question is, what are we building when we reward them for it? Stay safe. Think before you climb, before you step, before you raise the phone. Because the photo can wait. You cannot.